sell any, oh wait, never mind, sorry. That's including my MicroStrategy. That's been very, very fucking volatile.
Micro's been around for a while.
Oh, dude, it's
going up and down.
That one's been a ride. Bitcoin's been easy because I've been DCAing into that.
Yeah.
Right? MicroStrategy I bought all at one time with my pension, and I've just been riding that wave. And
let's see. Can you ever find it? Okay. Do. Why the? Alright, I think we got something going on here.
oh no.
Good. I don't know if we're gonna get copyrighted for using this music, but whatever. Away she goes. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it. This can go over here. Heck yeah. Alright, let's go. Hey. What's happening, folks? Welcome back to Surely Sound Studio. My name is Martin. You can call me Marty. This is my show. I got AK on my right.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
What's happening today? Let's go, man. Bitcoin hit an all-time high last night. Jays won. Game 1. Woo-hoo-hoo. We're feeling good. Took a bit of profits. Gotta be honest here. Bitcoin hit an all-time high. I was like, I gotta take some profits, so I did. Full disclosure, I didn't have any Bitcoin to sell anyways, but if I did have Bitcoin, I would have taken profits last night. Okay,
it wasn't for that surfing accident.
Yeah, lost it all. Don't surf with your ledger, folks. Very bad idea. Okay, but let me get this going out of here because that's probably screwed with everything.
Yeah,
okay, that's enough.
YouTube is not receiving
enough
that video.
It's my phone screwing around. Hopefully it's okay. Yeah, so basically what are we talking about here? Debunk the Bitcoin news. We got to definitely talk about, there's a lot going on right now. A lot is about to happen over the next few months, and it's worth talking about. So we got, everybody's looking for a big short right now. Like everyone's looking for a big short, and we got a lot of money printing and the government shutdown. So it's like, where do we go from here? Because with the government shutdown and the money printing and the government buybacks, the debt buybacks, we're talking about lots and lots and lots of liquidity added to the system. So it's only a matter of time before that money finds its way to assets, because that's where the rich people put their money, and that's where usually anybody that doesn't want, and it's a smarter person, I don't know, it's hard to say smart or dumb because a lot of people are misinformed, so it's not really fair. But anybody that's informed about how the system works, money is devalued. So you want to, by printing, right? You work for it, you spend your time to earn it, and they print it for free. So you got to put it in assets. You got to put it in assets because all they do is continue to print, and the price of the assets go up in turn because the value of the money is actually going down. Is what's really happening.
Assets are basically your way of printing your own money.
Well, exactly, because that's how you take advantage of the system. Whether you, right, like we talked about before, putting your opinions aside and going with the flow of the way things work is the way you'll be successful. Unfortunately, there's for years I was thought I could change the world, but it occurred to me over the last 5 or 10 years that it's like, man, it is really hard. Plus, people don't really want to change, and that's the biggest thing. It's like we do concerts, go around spreading awareness for certain things, and people just don't want to change. They like the way that life that they have is convenient. It's not that hard, but they are being controlled and manipulated, unfortunately. So it's weird. It's weird for me. Like I get it. It's definitely like a better way of life with, considering most other things, but or most other possibilities. But it's like, what's the price? Like, what are you paying for?
You get your life.
Yeah, exactly right.
You really are. It's all your time. You want me to go to school from 5 to 18 and then work the rest of my life until I'm 60, 65?
Pay that debt off.
And bury myself in debt while you guys just print money.
Right, because the bank tells you to save money.
Yeah, so they can devalue it every year.
Well, then they take that money and they invest it, and then they make 20% per year and not even give you 2.
Well, not only that, the moment you stick that money in the bank, it's been inflated 10 times.
Yeah,
right?
passed around.
They lend it out 10 times.
Yeah.
So your $100 is now $1,000. And then they treat each deposit as a new deposit. So that person that just went and deposited $100, that's getting loaned out, and it just grows and grows.
Fractional reserve lending.
Yep,
and now it used to be fractional reserve. Now it's a zero reserve. They can lend without even having reserve anymore. So, and that'll happen in COVID. So there's a lot going on there. You can see in the chart. So let's have a look at the charts. This is the 5-minute right now, or 15-minute. Sorry. This is the all-time high. Bitcoin's current all-time high set last night at around 9:45. It is, or 11:45, 9:45, something like that. It was last night, Pacific Standard Time for me, in the evening. 125, I think 800 maybe? Around 800 was the top, just under $125,800. Wow. Look at it go. Look at it go. But now, honestly, we had a pretty fair rejection from that spot too. So now, the daily candle doesn't look too good. Doesn't look too good. Remember, this was our line from last time when we were talking about this happening. We took the short from here from the golden pocket. We got a little bit of a move. Luckily, we moved our stop loss to profit, so we got stopped out. Good thing we got stopped out. Never try and chase a trade or add to a trade. If you're into it, like, know when you're in and when you're out, because this type of thing happens, especially when you're shorting. So we stopped out of that trade. Perfect. And then launched all the way back up to these highs to sweep out the liquidity up here. And now we've continued to build liquidity. But it's running out. We got a little bit more up here. But you can see compared to this, there's a lot more liquidity down here. So it's really, honestly, nobody ever knows which way the market's going to go. That is the truth when it comes to trading in general. You have to understand that we are watching the market for how it reacts at certain levels, and then we are applying strategy based on what we see. And so right now, this is what's called a swing failure pattern. We have about 6 hours and 20 minutes left in this candle. At 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, this candle will close. And where this candle closes will be very important. If we close below this high, where these candles closed, that's a failed auction. People have tried to buy. There's just no buyers coming in up here is what that means. Basically, every time it gets up there, we're hitting net sellers. And so it's getting rejected. It's getting rejected. We had 1, 2, 3. And what we have seen each time is actually almost lower lows. We do have a bit of a head and shoulders thing going on here. So if it does break out and close above this high, that's looking really strong. Then we're kind of potentially looking for strength up in here for a continued move up. But if we can't close above this high, this is a swing failure. We're going to be looking for it to come back down here and potentially get stuck under here, and that's it. Then we're coming at least down here, and that'll be your last hope. This support resistance flip. If we lose that, then we're moving back down here. So this is how we look for what trade we're going to look for. So we wait to see what the market's going to do, and then we react. And so if we continue to lose, we will be looking for short pumps, and then we'll be looking to short these pumps as we continue to move lower until we see a break of structure. Because I think with the money printing, we wanted to sweep this liquidity before going up higher, as our line shows. But are we going to get to that liquidity is the question, or when are we going to get to that liquidity? Because I feel like if we don't come and get this liquidity, or it doesn't dry up, so there's 2 things that can happen. It can come down here and sweep the liquidity and then remove it from the market by price visiting that spot, or people these are all longs finally sell up here and close those positions out. So there are 2 ways that liquidity can dry up. So we're looking for one of those 2 things to happen, and if it doesn't, then that means that we're coming down there. But until then, all we can do is watch. And I feel like if we do see October and everybody's bullish and we continue to see retail flock in, lemonade stand, nice, selling for Bitcoin, right, like this type of stuff. Removing 4 zeros from its national currency. Wow. After inflation. Yeah, Bitcoin fixes that. There's another lots of liquidity below us. Gotta be aware. Just don't buy into hype.
Bitcoin adds 4 zeros to your currency.
Yeah, totally. It's pretty unreal. I mean, what's happening in the world right now, long term, we know that Bitcoin's going to go up. So I have personally gotten quite a few messages in the last couple months asking if this is the time to buy. Or is it time to buy Bitcoin? Is it time to buy Bitcoin? It depends on how much Bitcoin you have. If you have no Bitcoin, then yeah, it's a good time to buy Bitcoin. A little bit.
Yeah. Anytime's a good time to buy Bitcoin.
Get a little bit curious. Dip your toes in. Buy $100. Everybody can afford to lose $100. $100 is one meal basically these days.
You're not even going to lose $100 either. At most, you're going to go down to $90 of value.
Yeah, well, see, what's most likely, I think what's going to happen potentially is, like, especially these, I've seen some large public short positions, and like tens of millions of dollars, and these people are publicly short, and that is another thing. Like, everyone wants to try and chase that big short. As long as people are trying to chase the big short, because arguably so, that liquidity down below makes sense. They're just making it easier for the market makers to continue to push the price up and soak up that liquidity before going low. So this is why we see things like a blow off top, because it continues to push and push and push until literally run out of money to short. Like, all the bears get wrecked. Once all the bears get wrecked, then it's okay. Now we're selling to retail. Everybody that FOMO's in on this big green candle, all these big moves, they're gonna get wrecked, or at least they're gonna have to deal with drawdown, which is your your position being in the negative.
You're going to have to sit for 2 years and hold on to it to see that growth.
So I've seen quite a few things in the news. There's a lot of people talking about this top that's going to come in here. This next local top could be one for decades, because we had like in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s when there was drawdowns, they lasted a lot longer. But in the recent years, since 2000 on, all the drawdowns have only lasted about a year to 2 years. So this is just another sign of inflation taking its place. Like, I don't think it's going to get slower again. I think it's going to get faster. We're going to see more volatile drops in the value of the dollar because we're seeing them have to print more money to pay off current debts, because it's all percentage based. And if you continue to do percentage based day after day after day, it compounds and gets worse and higher and bigger every time. And that's when countries get wrecked due to hyperinflation. And you don't get a warning. If anything, these are your warning signs.
Yeah, you've had a warning for enough years at this point.
2020 was the warning. And so now basically it's going to happen one way or another, because the rich have massive debt. Okay, the people who own countries have massive debt, and the way to get rid of that debt is by devaluing the dollar that they're in debt to. So every single time they print money, they devalue that debt. So if they devalue the debt and inflate currencies and inflate assets, then that allows them to pay off that debt with the asset that's inflated in price.
That's exactly why you have wars going on right now. If you pay attention, they understand what's going on and how countries are trying to erase their debt through this.
Exactly.
Whereas we're just trying to get rich off of it and sit back and enjoy it.
Bitcoin is the life raft for the madness that happens in the world. The fiat monetary policy, that's like the world banking and the Federal Reserve and all this stuff that runs the money, that controls everything, is flawed. Mathematically, terribly flawed.
It is. You have to think. Somebody came up with that, started it, and controls it. Mm-hmm. Nobody controls Bitcoin.
It's a great... Okay, so it was started in 1913, 1914, when the Titanic sunk, and the people who were all against it died on the Titanic. And the people that remained were like, perfect, okay, now we can do whatever we want.
There's no conspiracy.
Well, I mean, the people who were on board the ship, the people who built the ship, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's just look at the data and look at the companies who were responsible. Look at the guest list. Like, look at all this stuff that it goes on there, right?
Yeah, their empire.
Look at the Federal Reserve was It was a year after the World War I started. A year after that, it's like
that's what we're seeing right now.
It was more profitable, right? Like, and it was their plan. Okay, it was definitely evil now that we look back at it, but at the time they were trying to stimulate the economy, and it worked. They stimulated the economy. We went from kids working in mines to grown men being able to work one job, to buy a house for their family, have the wife stay at home, and raise kids and put them through college. Okay, so it worked, but it was only like a 100-year, let's say 60 to 80 year plan, right? And so it worked, but now we're still doing it, and it's not working for the reasons it was intended to be created. So there needs to be a transition, right? And the transition obviously is to digital assets, to more futuristic. Like, moving forward, you have a digital device in your pocket at all times. You get all your information from this digital device. We don't use candlelight anymore. We use electricity. We don't use outhouses anymore. We have indoor plumbing. Like, it's all we don't use horse and carriage. We barely even use cars anymore. We're starting to all do ride share, and we're talking about, of course, smaller cities and all that type of stuff, which is run from that stuff. That is very unhealthy. You need to be out in the country. You need to be out in the country. If you are stuck in a box, or you make your kids being stuck in a box like that, it's basically a prison.
It is prison.
It's insane. I can't imagine kids that have to grow up in a bedroom in a condo, and they literally barely have to go outside. Don't barely even see grass. And if they go outside, it's all concrete. It's insane. That's not good for your health.
No, but speaking on the digital part, the world's going digital, regardless if you like it or not. Mm-hmm. And this is due to the reason. I mean, you have decision makers who have grown up that have no idea what life was like before the iPhone.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
We have, and you have people who are going to be making decisions in the next 10 to 20 years who have grown up and have only known Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to be older than a lot of these other people who are now going to be making decisions on this.
Well, that's just it. That's how things change.
They're generations. Yeah, they're not going to have to adopt to it because they're already going to know everything about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's no value in them for using fiat currency.
No.
Like, even my kids already know that they don't save money. You save enough until you can buy the asset that you're trying to find, or the tool that you're trying to find to do the job. Whatever you invest that money back into yourself, whether it's buying tools to grow your business, or saving up to buy assets of any kind, whether they're digital or physical. You can't really go wrong. I mean, I'm sure you're watching the real estate market right now. It is definitely plateauing, and everyone's again talking about a crash. And that's the thing too. It's like, the more you hear about a crash, the less likely it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So you gotta pay attention to, honestly, the charts are where I get my information from, because that's literally just bare bones statistics. No emotions attached whatsoever. You can see psychologically driven price movement, and you can see balance and imbalance, and that's really the big thing too. And so we definitely are in a area of imbalance right now, and the market wants to seek balance. And whenever you are in an area of imbalance, that is opportunity. So we have to be paying attention, because the market, once the things go too high, nobody will buy, and so the market has to correct. And it's not a crash. They use those words to try and scare people out. Oh my God, the market's gonna crash. It's like,
sell all your stuff so I can buy it.
Exactly. Right? No, like, that's perfect. A market crash is an opportunity for 99% of the population.
Yeah,
you want that to happen.
They're scared of it. That's the problem.
Well, the thing is that they're scared of it, and also they're living paycheck to paycheck, so they don't have any spare money on the side to buy anything when the market crashes. And
that's also because they've never been educated, I guess, on subjects to save money to buy the asset. Always pay yourself before you're paying your debts off, even if it's just $20-$50.
Yeah.
Buy that asset.
Yeah. Well, or just be ready to, right? And that's another thing too, is if you have that budget in your DCA, then the market crash is perfect, because now you're getting triple or quadruple what you were for your same dollar amount. That's not affecting you, right? That's in your budget. Everything's set aside. So then it actually grows your portfolio 4 or 5 times faster when there's a crash. Because then the only thing, every single crash bounces back. Right?
Yeah.
Every single crash. It only goes up into the right in the long term. So if you're looking to try and work on a 10-year plan, then you're good. Like, just keep DCAing.
You don't even need to look at price. Just
set
it on a schedule and go. buy low, buy high, don't matter.
It doesn't matter as long as your time frame is long, then you're good. Like it's no big deal whatsoever.
Yeah.
But honestly, like the thing about the news and all the crashing and the statistics that are happening with the government shutdown and the numbers are so bad. I think the only way out is to print. So it's like they're trying to. You hear this big crash stuff because they don't want you to buy. Right? Someone's like, oh, so right now there's going to be a crash in a couple weeks. I'm not going to buy right now. But then guess what? In 2 weeks we could be at 150K. So it's like.
Could you imagine if half the states took their money out and just bought Bitcoin?
Well, that's another thing too. Is that
okay, crash fine. Let's not put all in
the
Bitcoin.
amount on exchanges are looking or is at all-time low. So it's like they're running out of Bitcoin to buy. So there will be a supply shock, and they'll have no choice but to push the price up because they don't have any to sell at. They need people to entice sellers, right? If they want to buy, like, excuse me. It's weird because like even the car market's the same. I bought a brand new van a few years ago, and 2 years after I bought it, they wanted to buy it back from me because they didn't have liquidity. Their van, like their stock is vans, is their liquidity to try and sell to other people. So they needed to buy back, and they wanted to try and buy it back. We'll set you up with something else here. We'll give you a good deal on it, but we're only going to give you this much for the van. Blah 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 blah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're trying to get a deal to get the van back to sell it to somebody else at a markup. Like the same van, they're trying to do the same deal. They already make the money off me. And they're trying to get the van back and make the money off somebody else. It's like they can only do that because they didn't have the liquidity. Then, like, first of all, that was around 2021, so there's not a lot of new vehicles being made at the time. Supply chain issues and all that stuff. So they don't have any new vans. So they gotta make money somehow. And everybody's forced to make money. That's like you have to have positive GDP or else screwed. So that's another reason why it's just like there's the system requires so much liquidity, and it continues to run out because of the debt, the interest rate. I give you $1, but you owe me $1.25. Yeah. Where does that 25 cents come from? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. Yeah. So they have to continue to print to cover that extra 25 cents, and then that printing comes at an interest rate. You also owe 25 cents, and then it just on and on and on and on.
Constantly devaluing.
Exactly. So if we do see a correction, I mean, I did take a little short this morning. It's in the green. I took a long last night while I was laying in bed. It was a beauty. I closed it out. I squeezed it. I continue to move my stop up as price goes. It's like a trailing stop. Nice little lay in bed 20%er. Like can't really. Jays won. What a day it was yesterday. Oh man, let's go. Game 2 today. Like respect to the Yankees, but I think they're gonna get crushed. I hope they're gonna get crushed. Anyways, but I'm a little bit short right now because I think that we are due for a little bit of correction. We'll see how this daily candle goes though. If this daily candle pumps up, I'm out of this real quick because it's just a small position, and I just like to be hedged just in case we do see retracement and a little bit of liquidity grab. When you see a lot of green candles in a row, which we have seen, I think we've seen like 7 or so green daily candles in a row, maybe with a couple reds in between. Like there's gonna be people chasing those green candles. There's gonna be people over leveraged, and they're gonna have to get swept out of the market before the market continues to go higher. So I just like to capitalize on these little drawbacks because I'm paying attention, and based on liquidity, we'll be watching, and we're always ready to make our plan, adjust our plan, and execute our plan at any time we need. But on that note, anything else to say there, AK, or should we get into some golden tea?
Oh, there's not too much. I think we should probably hit the T-box here. Get a game.
Let's do it. All right, we're gonna shut this down, but we'll be back in about 5-10 minutes after a puff, and we'll see us over on the golden tea. Smash that like, folks. Have a good day. You guys outside touching grass. Go Blue Jays. Let's roll.